morning, welcome back to my channel. It is October 1st, Monday morning. October 1st, it's not, I'm not awake yet. It is October 4th, Monday morning. Today, the plan, this morning, I'm just gonna have my tea, probably read some more Shadow and Bone, bake some bread, which the oven is currently preheating for. But yeah, I'm just gonna wake up a little more, make some bread, probably make breakfast from said bread. Because who doesn't love fresh bread for breakfast? So good. And then we're actually gonna try and follow some of the Preptober outlines that Nanowrimo provides you. So it looks like their first week, they usually spend doing some character building. So as you guys know from yesterday, I was doing some actual world building, having to do with like geography and the government systems and stuff. But today I'm going to work on characters, which I think is the most important part and also something that I do need to work on. It's very easy for me to come up with an entire world, but sometimes kind of difficult for me to come up with very individual, multi-layered characters. So that's what we're going to be working on today. That's going to be the focus. I almost forgot to mention, we've got a bookish sweater on today. I think I have 3 bookish sweaters, so I'll probably alternate between them a lot because I wear them all the time. This one is a quote from A Court of Thorns and Roses, or rather I think it's from A Court of Mist and Fury. I don't remember which book the actual quote is from, but the quote is, "To the stars that listen and the dreams that are answered," which seems fitting as we're working on our author dream anyways. Having some lunch before I go out to do some writing, but I got a package and I'm opening it with you guys because it has to do with my project. It's a book on pirates. It is practically a children's book on pirates, and I love it. Like, it has little things that open up and that you can look at, like you can open up little books, and it just has information on different pirates, on how things worked in the pirate world, like historical information. Ooh, what is this? Oh my gosh, it teaches you how to tie knots. Can navigate. Oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever bought. It's now 8:40 p.m. I just got back from kickboxing and then I showered, and that's why I'm in my pajamas right now with my smoothie. I mean, really, this is the reality of it. No one gets dressed up to write all day. Some people might, but probably not, and I'm not one of them. So I'm gonna try to go to bed around 10 p.m., which means that I have about an hour and 20 minutes to do some more prep. So what I'm going to do for prep now is I'm actually gonna start following the Nanowrimo workbook, which I will link below because this is the greatest resource. This is just fantastic. It's completely free, and they give you an entire downloadable, editable PDF that is 53 pages long and is split into 6 different sessions that are organized so that you can basically prep for November. I think you're supposed to do it over 6 weeks. I am gonna do it over 3. So that's what I'm gonna start working on right now. So session 1 is develop a story idea you're passionate about, which this is great because I only have probably about 75% of the plot. So I need to spend some time making sure that I have a better idea of what's actually going to happen. And then since I don't have too much to do for that, I might also move on to session 2 tonight, which is create complex, believable characters. And I would really like to move on to that one tonight because this is something that I really need to work on, and therefore I'm probably going to spend quite a bit of time on the characters and creating the characters. because I need that practice and it's a very valuable thing to learn for me right now. And then yeah, there's 4 more sessions all organized around preparing as best you can for November, so that when the time comes, you can just sit down and write that 50,000 words without having to worry about all of this foundational information. So I'm going to leave a link to this document so that you guys can download it if you're also doing NaNoWriMo, or if you just want to use it for creating a new novel, because this is so helpful and such an incredible resource to have access to. That's what I'm going to do for the next hour and 20 minutes or so. Okay, it is now October 7th. I know that that vlog was very all over the place. I have still been working on Nano Prep, and I will show you what I've been working on so far. I just didn't really vlog much of it because I was kind of trying to sort through things. So far, what I have done the past couple days is plot stuff, which is also important. I would like to report that now I have the majority of the plot. So what I have right now is a plot leading up to, let's say, about Act 3. I have a general idea of how I want things to end. So I have an idea of what the main events are going to be, what the turning points are going to be, any kind of plot twists that happen, and I have an idea of where I want it to end, especially because I kind of already have ideas for the sequel. So I know what needs to happen before the book ends. So that's pretty much all I have for the plot, which is actually quite a bit. And these are just general ideas. I need to start kind of fleshing them out now. So let's talk about what I did. Let me pull up the document here so I can show you. So like I mentioned, nanowrimo.org gives out a free prep workshop PDF that's 53 pages long. I started with the first week, which is called Session 1, Develop a Story Idea You're Passionate About. So I went through, I did the prompts. Like I said, this is my first time doing the official NaNoWriMo month. I've done Camp NaNoWriMo once, and then my own independent NaNoWriMo. I won both of them, which means that I completed and basically hit my goal. But this is the official writing month, and I want to do it as a beginner would do it. I want to do it as it was officially intended, because there are certain rules that you're supposed to follow for NaNoWriMo. For example, it's supposed to be you starting fresh on an original story. You don't have to do that. If you want to edit a work in progress you have, that's totally fine as well. I think that's called a nano rebel, which is also fantastic. Any work on your novel is great. I just kind of want to do the most traditional like beginner way that I can. So I went through and I did fill out the prompts. The first one is about writing summaries from some of your favorite books, and then you kind of go through and change around those summaries and see what you like about those plots, what parts of those plots you can use for your own novel. And that was actually really helpful. I loved that exercise, and that really helped me figure out some of my plot, which I unfortunately can't show you because one day I hope to release this book into the world and I don't want you to know what the ending is gonna be. Then there was an exercise on creating a character based on someone you know, but don't know everything about, and then basically coming up with like a story around that. That was also very fun. I did my great-great-grandma, which I really barely know anything about, but I just had an idea in my head, so I was like, oh, I'll just play around with that. I'm gonna be honest, there is one part of Session 1 that I skipped, and that was the Part 3 of Session 1, and it was titled News You Can Use. The idea of this part is that you basically pick an event from the news and then you kind of tell the story around it. So you talk about who would be involved in it, what else would happen, what led to the event, the results based on the people that you talked about were involved. Hi. I did a little bit of like playing around with plots still, but I skipped it because I basically started to go on the news and was quickly reminded what sorts of things are on the news right now. And I'm not gonna lie, it got me a little bit down in the dumps, which is not what you want for creative writing. Let's just say the top 20 news stories that I found were either about politics or the pandemic. So I may have skipped that question because it was kind of doing more harm than good. And then I did part 4, which was kind of browsing really interesting places that exist on this earth and telling stories around them and kind of brainstorming around those, which I did. And let me tell you, a couple things stuck out, one of which is a ship that has a forest on it. Fits perfectly in the story that I'm telling. And also the Tianzi Mountains, which are in China, because I looked at the photos of them and they actually reminded me of one of the realms. And I was like, that is what this realm looks like. So these were actually really incredible kind of story plot brainstorming exercises, and they actually worked really, really well for me, and I pretty much finished off the majority of my plot, all that I need to get started on the story, which is super exciting, as far as plot goes at least. Obviously, we still have more world building to do, and we still have characters to build out. Which leads me to what we are doing next in the next vlog. We're going to start working on characters, and I'm also going to do kind of like an introduction to NaNoWriMo from the perspective of a complete beginner and kind of how to win NaNoWriMo. So we're going to talk about that in the next video, and we're just going to keep on pushing through this workshop PDF and see what we can work out with the novel before November arrives. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything that you want to see about this process, please leave them in the comments. If you're looking for more behind the scenes, more regular updates, as well as things like live streams, Q&A, or just like direct chatting, as well as some extra resources and content, I am also making stuff on Patreon. That will be linked in my description box down below, so you can check it out down there and support me on there if you have a couple extra bucks per month to put towards that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.